Hello everyone, welcome once again to our coverage of IPL 2024. Today joining us, we have Karthik, Pramod, Abhishek, all familiar faces from this series this year. And joining us for the first time is Vishal, our resident KKR fan, in time for the KKR versus RCB game. And of course, the return of Ani in a different avatar. So welcome, Ani. Before we go into the RCB KKR game tomorrow, let us rewind the clock to what happened on Monday. Which is, as you said, first match there. Second match, you already got our points. Very quickly, Abhi, your thoughts on the game.
I had a chance to watch the game in stadium. So I went along with my dad, who was coming after a long time. So I was thinking because it's crowded and he's also a senior citizen, I thought we'll come back after the 15th over. But the game was so intense, and probably because Virat Kohli was still batting, my dad insisted we'll watch the game till the end. And I had never seen him dance. He was dancing after the uh, match. So I guess that is the emotion which we have, I guess, be it a small kid or a senior citizen guy. So absolutely. So it was an nail-biting game, even though it looks like we finished off at 19.2, but definitely bike bandit.
Bye, bye. We should name RCBB. RC bye bye. uh, uh, just going back to your points, Abhi, I really miss sitting in the atmosphere of the stadium. I think if you are looking for a good crowd and a great experience, irrespective of the match, just go to Chinnaswamy. You will experience once in a lifetime worth of experience. I've had it multiple times. Ani, coming to the game itself, what are your biggest positives from the game? Is it DK's finishing and the fact that we got the 2 points, or do you think there are other things we would need to focus?
Yeah, actually, a lot of negatives which I wanted to highlight, but since you brought out the question on positives, let's begin on a positive note. Our bowling was much better when compared to the first game against CSK. The strategy was better. It was not just that go all bouncers like that. So I think we kind of pulled them back instead of I was thinking maybe this will go for a 200 plus uh, chase, but actually the pitch was also bit two-sided maybe. So yeah, so it was there was something in for the bowlers, and as we saw, Punjab bowlers were also very good,
Yeah.
and uh, so so that finish from DK and Lomzo, it was just excellent. Although Virat stole the show, but because we were in such a situation where everyone had lost hope, so I think that's the greatest positive there.
Yeah, I thought Yash Dayal in the start and Siraj just 2 overs in the end really personally were my biggest positives to take away. Um, Coming to that, Pramod, what do you think are the things we should actually improve upon?
Well, while we were discussing about this game last last week on Sunday, I think we thought that our batting would do much better than what it has done. Uh, Eventually, it's our bowling why we won this game. Like Siraj bowled very well, and Yash Dayal also like initially in the first few overs he bowled really well. So I think the main strength which we thought would be is not our strength right now, but again, like always we would like to take positives. uh, the fact that DK and Anuj Rawat played uh, well, uh, I would say like Anuj missed out on finishing the game for us, but DK went on to finish the game for us, which is a really good thing. It's also showing that we are not reliant on the star players.
Yeah.
A win is a win. 2 points is 2 points. We take 2 points and move on and improve on what we couldn't do well in this game.
I
That's what I
really
would like to say.
appreciate a very important point you brought about. Not that we are not relying on big players. I think Virat Kohli, DK are big players, but I feel like we are
Yeah.
not relying on the four foreign players, which is, I think, for the first time I've ever seen RCB play two games, and in both games, all the standout were the seven local players. So that puts us in really
Yes.
good situation. So yeah, I think what you said is a very, very valid point. But zooming out a bit from RCB, I want to ask Karthik and Vishal two separate questions. Firstly, Karthik, every team right now has won their own home matches. The home matches are all, yeah, victory. So far, do you think there is something new that has happened this season, or is it just pure coincidence?
See, ultimately, we always say that the home team has always the advantage of home ground. Okay. So personally, I would say it is been just been confined to only some teams. Example, see, when you speak about RCB,
Yeah.
so they play really good at Chinnaswamy. Okay. And especially for CSK,
Mhm.
Chepok is a major place there.
Mhm.
Okay, but that was not the case with other teams such as DC, Punjab. Okay, so these was a team even with their home support. So they were not doing that great, like still from past 16 years of IPL.
Yeah.
What I have seen is okay. Yes, home advantage is always there, but it's always been confined to some teams, is what I believe. So, answering your question, yes, ultimately it's a coincidence, is what I think.
Do you think it's
Yeah.
no coincidence? All right.
Yeah.
Next, I want to go to Vishal. Since last year, you had a impact sub concept, and I think this is the first time at least RCB used the impact sub to an impactful manner. Uh, how much do you think this new rule has actually contributed to how sides are being created? What do you think is the what's your do you feel like the cricket has gotten better? What's your thoughts on the impact sub?
I think the cricket has definitely gotten better with the rule of the impact sub from the last IPL. One thing that's for sure is a target of 160 is never safe in any kind of wicket because any team chasing 160, if they're losing 5 wickets, they're still in the game. So the bowling team has to get 6 wickets or 7 wickets to be absolutely sure that they're winning the game because any innings by an impact sub could change the course of the game and win the game for the side that's trying to chase the amount of runs. So the impact sub has actually changed the dynamics of the entire IPL, in my opinion. The other thing as well is in terms of combinations, I really liked how Rajasthan Royals have used the impact sub. They've used only three foreigners, and I think in both the games, the South African bowler Berger has come in as an impact sub and played a key role and has kept Roman Powell out of the equation. And we know how destructive he's been. So teams are looking at him. Different teams are looking at impact sub in different ways. It's still evolving, and it'll be interesting to see how different teams look at how to use impact subs moving forward in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm also very curious. I think slowly there are definitely new ideas coming up, and for me, what I find always um, fascinating is how also along with the impacts of the team sheets now make more sense, and what kind of combinations they want to play actually has a big role to play in the match itself. So I find it really fascinating, and you're right, no team is safe with 160, 180, or even 270. It appears. But okay, coming to the match tomorrow, uh, yeah, in RCB got over the line in their first game, but maybe there are some things that we need to be careful of. So since Vishal is right here, The floor is his. What are your thoughts on your first game? It 208, but they made it really close to comfort and won it by just 4 runs. Yeah, 4 runs in the end. What are your thoughts?
Well, after watching how SRH batted yesterday, I think we bowled really well. So that's the first thing. Yeah, but I think it was a very close game, and credit to SRH. I think Klaasen is one of the best T20 players going around in the world at the moment, and we had no answers. It was a first game. Good to have the 2 points, move on, improve, and get ready for tomorrow. That's what I think the think tank will be telling the team. There are a lot of improvements that we need to work on, but it's a good start.
Any important like matchups or combinations that you're or players that you want to perform?
I think in general tomorrow, I'm not looking at key matchups, but I'm looking at the total bowling of RCB versus KKR's batting. There are two things that I want to look out for. The first thing is the short pitch bowling by the RCB bowlers to the KKR batters. KKR batters in the last 3-4 years are not great players of the short ball. The lineup that we have. So the pace attack that RCB possesses can make life difficult for KKR batters with short pitch bowling. That's one. The second thing is there are 4 left-handers in the KKR lineup, which makes it interesting on how RCB looks at it. There's a saying that left-arm spinner cannot bowl to a left-hander, which I don't completely agree with. But I still think Karan Sharma might play tomorrow instead of Mayank Dagar because there are 4 batters in the KKR, 4 left-handers in the KKR lineup. So the match will be won and lost on how KKR bats, but in general, KKR have a good record at the Chinnaswamy. We haven't lost there since 2015, and we are unbeaten in the last 5 matches in Bengaluru. So let's see how it goes tomorrow.
Interesting. Take all your points in healthy spirit, Vishal. Maybe moving on to Pramod. Okay, we are there, and as Vishal says, we haven't won since 2015. What do you think are the areas, or the key areas, or key battles that RCB need to focus on?
A couple of things, like just don't throw away your wickets to spinners. Sometimes I feel like we lose wickets in patches, like a wicket falls and we tend to lose 2-3 more. Play out good bowlers. I think the ones to watch out for is Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti. They've always done relatively well against RCB. So watch out for them, and I'm sure like we can hit other bowlers relatively easily. I'm not saying that they're not good bowlers, but it's going to be much easier than these two guys. The second thing is to bowl well at the KKR batters, like and field well also, because KKR, like a lot of people are in good form, and Shreyas Iyer, we always know that he loves Chinnaswamy and he makes a lot of runs here, and it's also his comeback here. Last time I think Rinku Singh played well against us, and both the times they made 200, and we lost both the games, and probably by huge margins, which kind of impacted our run rate, and that's why we didn't go through. That's another key. Make sure that even if we lose, we don't lose by a big margin, and yeah, that's what I would focus on.
It started from how do we win, and it ended at how do we not lose badly. It is an interesting
because
from Pramod. So,
we always tend to focus on this after like probably 8 games or 9 games, but the sooner you focus on it, it won't be a worry, I feel.
Yeah, interesting. I think it's we're welcoming them. But I think that's also the key challenge, and that's what I want to ask Abhi right now. Should we more focus on our batting versus their bowling, or our bowling versus their batting? What do you think should be our higher focus at the moment?
I mean, there's no certain template for this, right? It's always a mixture of both. You'll have to do well in all 3 departments, right? So if you tend to focus on one, there's obvious chance that something comes up. It's as we always say, they focused on this, but this came out of syllabus. So I generally won't go by that template, even though in few cases this has worked. But especially when it comes to tomorrow's game, I don't think you can specifically say that RCB bowlers versus KKR batters or vice versa, right? So, in my opinion, I guess you just have to be game ready, just do the basics right, and of course, yes, there are multiple things to look upon, hopefully, and also like talking of game ready, I'm also game ready about this new RCB
Oh
jersey.
wow,
Just
beautiful.
got it delivered today. So yeah,
Got delivered today. So plugging in RCB sponsors and shirt. As it's beautiful. I would have liked to have own one myself. Ani, your thoughts on tomorrow's match as well. Generally, what are you looking forward for, and what do you think is the main threat from KKR?
So I just want to get a personal example. I was not keeping well for some days,
Mhm.
but early diagnosis will always help you recover early. So RCB, if they have to get this early diagnosis, we are not a team like CSK who can play with the same 11 for 14 games and yet go qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we need to address the areas of concern, especially our batting, because lot has been talked about our batting being very deadly. But in the first couple of matches, so if you see, it has been our batting which has been a big letdown. Yes, DK played well, Anuj Rawat and Mahipal Lundlo stepped in, but you can't expect that every game. And if imagine if Virat Kohli had got out that uh,
First ball.
for the first over. So
Yeah.
I think it would have been done and dusted. Especially the foreigners, Green and Maxwell have to step up. And RCB has this template of whoever has been paid more will feature in the team. So which is why we have Alzari Joseph playing. So I think a couple of games has not been that great, but I don't see RCB doing any change. But I wish they would either get in another, probably Reece Stockley,
Okay.
who offers the left-hander, because that's a like for like replacement in terms of bowling. Or even better is strengthen your batting, which they'll never do. But yeah, it's like get Will Jacks
Exactly.
so that
And that,
you have
and
a
if you play,
and so yeah, sorry, I'll just complete. So see, Nalzari Joseph gives 40-45 runs in their 4 overs. Uh, the worst someone like Akashdeep can do is the same. And trust your Indian bowlers. So I feel that so maybe someone like Patidar have to give way because of this change, but yeah, some changes would really help is what I feel.
so that's how you
I
want to
think
do
you
the
watched our previous episode because I said the same thing.
Exactly. I was gonna say something of the same line. We really pointed the same in the past episode, and I had asked the same question. That's what I was trying to ask. Whom would you drop in that scenario, and whom would you get in from bowling side, whether Vishak or Akashdeep? But before we get to team combination changes and X factor player for the match, we have a neutral who's been laughing and smiling and silent for a while. Karthik, what are your thoughts on the match? What do you hope happens?
Yeah, so I feel uh, they should try Loki Ferguson or Reece Topley as a player for an alternate for Alzari Joseph.
Mm.
And coming to yes, Rajat Patidar has to step up. Uh, Maxwell and Green. Coming to Maxwell, yes, he can step up at any point of time. He
Mm.
has that respective ability. I'm quite confident upon him. And coming to Green, he has to, last time I already told that he gives much more extras.
Yeah,
So he has to reduce in that respective part.
in his bowling.
And if he really bowls well, then it would be a complete package. which could fetch RCB a lot.
It's
And yes, yeah, fine. And coming to this, they have a threatening of Andrew Russell, of course. Okay, so they should be confined to taking maximum of 3 to 4 wickets and keeping their strike rate as low as possible.
I saw him bat the first match against SRH and I got memories, really like memories flashing by 4 hours 80 required and stuff like that. It's crazy. Anyway, getting to the last point of today's video, guys. To each one of you, I will just go rolling. A change that you would like to see, and also an X factor that you would like to perform. Let's begin with you, Vishal.
In an ideal world, there should be no changes with respect to KKR. But obviously, we need to look at the wicket. I think they're playing on a fresh wicket tomorrow. If that's the case, instead of Suyash, you either play Chetan Sakaria or Vaibhav Arora, depending upon who's better fit for the pitch and condition. And the X factor player is obviously Andre Russell. The way he's striking this year, it's amazing. He's in some terrific form, and hope he continues for hitting the ball outside the ground the last 5 overs.
I hope he doesn't. But okay, thank you, Vishal. Pramod.
Yes, I think sometimes RCB has this tend to give away the lineup by posting pictures of few players who are going to play the next game. I think Topley is going to play tomorrow. That's what I saw a couple of posts on social media. He's going to play tomorrow, and he's going to be the X factor also for me.
All right. Pramod doing some intense investigation in his past time, I see. Karthik, your thoughts? X factor and a change. You're on mute, Karthik.
Yeah. So coming to KKR, their playing 11 is quite good. Okay, and coming to RCB, as I have always mentioned, like lastly mentioned, that a change is being required. Either Topley or Loki Ferguson. So any one of them would do better. And yeah, you do have a Tom Curran too. So
that's true. As sad that such a player is not even mentioned in our conversations nowadays. But okay, Abhi, your X factor?
I don't know from where Pramod got these insights, because from the RCB social media thing, I thought Loki Ferguson will be making his debut because I saw his video. But yeah,
that thunder something it was there.
but frankly, I feel there should be no change, because a fresh wicket, like Vishal mentioned, and also since what I saw in the stadium, the lengths which Joseph was trying to bowl, probably got little bit wrong, but I guess it was much better than what he tried in Chennai, and it was still one game in Chinnaswamy. So frankly, I feel there should be no change. And talking of the impact or X factor, I guess there is something which is very personal and mentally affected when it comes to a player called Yash Dayal against a team called KKR last season. So the battle between Yash Dayal and Rinku Singh, probably towards a death over, I guess that is something which will be very crazy to watch for.
Oh, that will be a great repeat matchup of two, let's say, Indians going at each other. Both their names became popular after that, mind you, and Yash Dayal has come back quite strongly, and I hope he gets the better of Rinku Singh if at all that matchup happens. Ani, your closing thoughts?
Yeah, so on the changes I had already mentioned, but realistically speaking, I think there will not be any change in the RCB lineup tomorrow. Although Vishal mentioned about having left-handers and probably Karan Sharma playing instead of Mayank, maybe I guess they'll just go ahead with a same winning team. And so my X Factor player for RCB is Mayank Dagger because
Interesting.
with Venkatesh Iyer, Nitish Rana, Rinku, all these left-handers being there, how Faf will use him in the mid overs, and um I think he has to be given that free run even for a left-hander. I think because if you take the KKR spinners, they are more better in that sense. So
Yeah.
in our spin department, we are a bit lagging. So I feel he's the X factor for RCB, and like just to mention for KKR as well. Although we have been speaking about Russell, I feel it is Nitish Rana who generally plays well against RCB, and I think he will be the X factor for them.
He also has a point to prove actually this season. He was quite up and coming a couple of seasons ago. Last season was a bit quiet, up and down, and I think he has a point to prove this year as well, Nitish Rana. Um, Closing with my own thoughts, more than changes in the 11, I would like to see some certainty, or rather fixing of positions in the batting lineup. I feel like Cameron Green is really a free agent. And him getting a dedicated role would actually help the team, and also his batting and his preparation, and preparation can make big difference. From KKR, I actually am curious to see what Varun Chakravarti will do. I feel like he always has a good game against RCB. And I'm among all the players there, I'm actually more worried about what he will turn up. And yeah, when he bowls even a straighter ball, it looks even more, let's say, venomous than it usually is. Yeah. Avi, you had some last point.
Also, Sunil Narayan, the opener against RCB, is
Yeah, that's
dangerous.
last match was not a good outing for him. So I think this year he will do this match much better. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. That was our catch up on RCB's first victory this season, and hopefully previewed for their second. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.